Okay guys, so based on 10 marks last week, I saw that a few people were struggling with this skill. And so what this skill is really is its expanded form. You see that these are stretched out, and it deals a lot with place value. So something that maybe if you struggled on 10 marks last week, we need to work a little bit on expanded form and place value. And that goes back to topic 1, and it's not just any place value. It's, I think for most people, it's those decimals that are still kind of tricking us up. Okay, so let's go ahead and review some. And so like I said, this is from 10 marks, and these are things that I noticed students struggling. Okay, so I call them clean up your room because right now this looks just a hot mess, right? It looks very messy. It's a lot of different numbers. It's confusing. When my eyes see it, automatically my brain hurts. And so what we want to do is try to simplify this, try to organize it. So 6 times 100, instead of saying 6 times 100, isn't that just 600? Okay, now I see this, 7 times 1. Instead of saying 7 times 1, isn't that just 7? 4 times 1/10. Now I could write this as a fraction, or I can write this as a decimal. 4 times 1/10 is just 4 of these. Remember, times means of. 4 of these. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. So 4/10. Now I'm going to go ahead and write it as a decimal. 0 and 4/10. And then this 9 times 1,000, 9 times 1,000ths, that's 9 of those, so 9 thousandths. Now be careful with place value of your decimals. So if I want to write 9 thousandths, there's no whole, no tenths, no hundredths, no thousandths. So look, already I went from making it, I mean if you look it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers, to now I've simplified it to be 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can still clean this up or simplify it just a little bit more. Let's look at whole numbers first. I have 600 and I have 7. Isn't that 607? Right? Nothing in the tens place, just 607. And now I'm going to look at decimals. So I have 607 and a little bit more. So let's see how much more I have. I have 4/10 and 9 thousandths. So 4 in the tenth spot. Any hundredths? Well, no, 4/10, 9 thousandths. So no hundredths and 9 thousandths. Okay? So this one answer is how I could have cleaned up or simplified this whole expanded form. Alright, so instead of writing all this jibber-jabber, I can just write this one number. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and do these, and I'm going to kind of model it quicker now that I've walked you through the first one. So I'm going to go quick. So this would be 90,000. This is 700. This is 2. This is 800ths. 800ths, and this is 9 thousandths. Okay, so now I've simplified a little bit, and if I should really put my plus signs in between. Okay, whole numbers. Everything in the beginning is a whole number. 90,702. Okay, so 90,702. That takes care of all these whole numbers. So 90,702 and a little bit more. Any tenths? No. 800ths and 9 thousandths. So boys and girls, this is what you should get when you clean up or simplify this second number. Alright, the third one, and just getting some practice now. I hope that kind of in your brain, and now this is a long one, but in your brain you're like, oh, like I totally get this now. It looked tricky, but now it's all making sense. Okay, so this is just 8 of these. So 800,000 plus 80 plus 6. Oops, I kind of made a mistake here and I put 8, but we'll take care of that. Plus 5/10. You know what? This one has a mistake. We're going to just skip this one. I want you to, for right now, just skip this one. Okay, let's just do this last one. So, 607, 4/10, and again, 9 thousandths. So, whole numbers, 607, and a little bit more. So I did 607, that's taken care of. Now I've got 4/10, 9 thousandths. Always be sure to read tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So 4/10, no hundredths, 9 thousandths. So that should be that one. I apologize about the second one, so you can just go ahead and make sure that on your paper you skip that. So you should have, now look at this. I mean, if somebody saw this, if somebody walked in the room, they'd be like, oh my gosh, it looks so overwhelming. But when you listen to this video and break it down, it's really not so bad. Now what you're going to do, if you have time, is you're going to do this sheet that we have for you. And this is asking you now to match things based on cleaning up your room. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and do that, and I hope this makes a lot more sense. And if you were to retake 10 marks, you would do a lot better than maybe you did on that first round.